2005, one of the best year ever. We got great F1 races, great action video game, of course the best Need for Speed or the best racing game ever made. Do not argue. And you see this kid right here? Yes, I was born in 2005. I don't age much. Such a great time to exist, and after more than a decade, the automobile industry as a whole was going to experience one of the most iconic cars ever made. The fastest, the coolest, the most expensive, taking the crown of the dominating McLaren F1 for its own after so long, which was the Bugatti Koenigsegg CCR for a few months. And then the Bugatti Veyron came along, the fastest, the most technologically advanced, with 101 brake horsepower, quad turbocharged W16 automatic transmission with all-wheel drive behemoth, backed up by auto giants like Volkswagen and other subsidiaries company, with a group of some of the best engineering team and a blank check. No limits were considered while making this world-changing hypercar. Profits, environments, cost, it didn't matter, as they simply described it as a technical exercise to find and push past the limits. More than $1 billion were spent into the project in order to achieve such feats. It made headlines, auto magazines went wild, and car journalists like Jeremy Clarkson was staggered so much in fact that he ranted all episode for this car. 253 miles per hour, the new world's fastest top speed record for a production car. And yet, after all this, even after Bugatti was losing money for every new car sold, it didn't age well. It didn't age well at all. Even when it was etched into the general public's eye as an automobile masterpiece, today it is just undervalued, and the price of the car is still not good compared to other supercars at the time. And obviously, I asked myself a simple question: why? Why was it that even after Bugatti was selling these Veyrons for $1 million, but it took $5 million to make per car? Even after making headlines and astonishing everyone with its features and technical ingenuity today, its value is only around 1.5 million to 2 million depending on the trim and condition of the car, the 16.4 version, Super Sport, etc. But before the lockdown hit, I saw Veyrons down to $700,000 to $800,000 a piece. That was their value. And even if you think that it appreciated since its 2005 price tag, and I don't know what I'm talking about, then consider this. Ferrari Enzo, $670,000 when it was launched in 2002, and now it is estimated to be valued around $3 to $4.5 million. Pagani Zonda F, released in the same year 2005, costed $550,000 brand new, and now you cannot get it for less than $6 million. Some of them even going up to $10 million figure. And the biggest punch in the face, the king that was overthrown by Bugatti Veyron, the McLaren F1. It is estimated to be valued between $20 to $30 million a piece. One thing is clear, these hypercars are not treated like any other depreciating car. Their exclusivity, heritage, performance, looks, all these things are considered when it comes to the value. They are literal investments, like a property. And Veyron is faster than all these cars. It was more complicated, it was more advanced, it had the same quality of parts, and yet it costs so less now. It is an undervalued gem. But when I dug deeper, I got to find out why was this thing depreciating, and I came out with some major and minor factors. Number 1. Exclusivity. 450 Bugatti Veyrons were made in total, and that is exclusive, but not exclusive enough compared to other cars, such as the Pagani Zonda F again, total of 25 units, McLaren F1, 106 units, and other random example, Koenigsegg CCX, 49 units, including the special units like the Trevita and CCXR were made. Compared to these, Bugatti has more units, but this is a minor factor as Ferrari Enzo had more units in total, 498, and it's still appreciated. Number 2. Performance is a short-term investment. We know Bugatti was faster than all these other hypercars, but it was a short-term endeavor because in the future everyone knew that cars in general are going to be faster with better technology. So the Veyron's pure focus on speed is not comparable to, for example, the driving experience of the McLaren F1, which aged like fine wine. Number 3. High maintenance cost. While researching, I got this video of Doug talking about the Veyron's major factor of its undervalued status. Of course, only buying a hypercar is not the end of the money sink. The maintenance of these cars are also taken into consideration, and no rich person wants to spend $55,000 in just maintenance for the next 4 years. And guess the insurance of this car. What? $50,000? 60, 70? $240,000 worth of insurance for 4 years. And no smart guy would spend that much for what is simply a vanity item. And I think this is one of the biggest factor. Nobody wants to buy this car. Number 4. Design and looks. This is a more subjective aspect, but majority of the people never saw Veyron as a piece of art on wheels. While the Zonda was pleasing to the eyes as the creator wanted it to be, Veyron was only made to be as fast as possible regardless of the looks. And in my opinion, I think it looks like a half egg, whether it's for aerodynamics or just aesthetics. Number 5. What would you have chosen? If money was not an object, what you really would have chosen? I would have chosen the F1, honestly. I couldn't care less for it being a car of the 1990s or choosing it as an investment because 2000% increase in value, and also it had no electric aids for me to help my lack of driving skills. I would have owned up to it, and so do the majority of the car enthusiasts. So that's that. Number 6. Analog feeling. Let's come back to the real world where money is an object. The people who can actually afford such vehicles chase one thing: an emotion. These cars are exclusively bought not only for comfort or practicality or how fast it is, other than the bragging rights of course, but they are bought for an emotion. That analog feel, switches, the click of the gears in a manual car, the struggling engine when going uphill, oversteering, skids. All these things create an emotion to satisfy the people who crave these. Veyron was too technical. It had all the comfort features and electronic aids to help you drive. It had an automatic gearbox for God's sake. But it was what it was, and that is the reason why Bugatti Veyron is an undervalued gem. Thank you for watching.